Hey, what's up? Zach King here from FinalCutKing.com. I've got a video tutorial here for motion showing you how to do the Cop's face blur effect. So here's the effect. This video tutorial was brought to you by Fix. You can go to their website, fixware.com. They've got some awesome plugins for Motion, Final Cut, After Effects, and Final Cut Express. Some big companies such as ILM, Weta, and Leica, and Riot use their plugins to create some visual effects. Fixware.com. Okay, so here in Motion, I've got my security cam footage 2. You can find that in the folder. Drag that in, and I've cropped it up to the last part when he gets picked up. And so what we're going to do is actually what I want to do is add a black and white filter effect to this. So we're going to go to Add Filter, Color Correction, and we're going to go to Desaturate. And I'm not going to pull that all the way down. I'm just going to pull it about 0.87. And so we're going to duplicate this by right-clicking, Duplicate. And we've got the same filter, same thing. What we're going to do is go ahead and go to the mask. And I've got the circle mask shaped. And we're just going to get the head here. Now, we don't actually need the effect to happen if we go in here until we start seeing the face, which is about right there. So go ahead, hit I here, and that'll create the endpoint, so that's when the effect will take place. And we can actually keyframe the opacity to turn on here. So let's do that now. Let's go ahead and give it about 6 or 7 frames. Keyframe the opacity 100%. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's go ahead and add the actual filter. We're going to go to Filters, Stylize, and then Pixelate. And this is going to give us that reality TV show look. Drag that right on top of there. And what we're going to do is make sure this mask is keyframed. So we're going to go ahead, record each frame. Okay, so, and then it jumps over here, so we got to get that from there. That jump. And we can keyframe skipping about 5 frames in. And as his face gets closer to the camera, bigger, we can up the scale here. Now his face might be recognizable at this point. So what we want to do is make this heavier. And so we can do that. I'm going to unrecord. So we've got all the keyframing done. Not a big deal. We could also have added tracking point to somewhere on his face, but in this case it's easy just to keyframe this. Now let's go ahead and actually make this a little harder to tell. So if you go to the Pixelate, we can go here to the inspector and change a few of the elements like the mix and the scale, or you can just do that here in the HUD. So I'm going to do that here. We really don't need more than about 13 for this footage. And we could also add a little feather here to make it a little nicer on the mask. Just go ahead and move that around 30-ish. And so now I'm going to actually turn on the mask a little bit sooner opacity wise. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and hit Command 8. We can see the keyframes for opacity right here. It says blend.opacity. So that's going to highlight, we can see that the opacity is this green one because we had moved the opacity from 0 to 100%. So you can see that lines up there. And the position, to make sure you're not getting the two green lines confused, position is selected. So when I select it, the line turns white. So let's go ahead and move this closer. As you move it, hold down Shift and it'll stay at the 100%. And so now, Shift Z to fit to window, you can see. Now here's a problem. Everything is pixelated in this frame. So what we're going to do is actually have the security cam footage. When this mask right here comes in, that's when the security cam footage 2 needs to come in. So that's at 11 frames. We'll set an endpoint there. And so now we're okay. And then it looks like all the timing is good. So I'm going to export this for Final Cut. We go to File, Export, and then we're going to do Face Blur, Motion, and I've got my QuickTime options correct here. Let's double check output, yes. and I'm going to export this. I'll see you in Final Cut. Let's find our footage here, Face Blur Motion Movie. Drag this into Final Cut, and then we're going to drop this here in our timeline. And we can preview this here. Let's go up to View, External Video, All Frames, and we can play it. Okay, so it's a quick effect, but it works well like for a cop reality TV show kind of thing. The pixelate filter is really good. You can also do that filter with a blur, just like we did in Final Cut, and vice versa. You can do the pixelate in Final Cut as well. Once again, check out Fixware.com for Motion, After Effects, Final Cut, and Final Cut Express. So check out Fixware.com. I'm Zach King, and you can check out my website, FinalCutKing.com. I'll see you guys in the next video tutorial.